Hello friends, it's Alexis, and I don't know how to stick to a book buying ban, so here's my spring book haul. I have done some damage these last few months between it being my birthday, then Indie Bookstore Day, and just all of the incredible new releases this year. The publishing industry is keeping us fed in 2025. And I am a good little consumer that just keeps snatching them up. Y'all know I'm an organized girly, so for the most part, I split the books up into categories by genre. But first up, I have to tell you all about the gifts that my beautiful, stunning, kind, way too freaking generous friends got me for my birthday. And I mean, way too kind. Like, are you kidding with this stack? I don't know how I got so lucky. Thank you so much, guys. First up, I want to say thank you to my wonderful bestie, Brienne, who got me 2 books. I will have her Bookstagram along with any of my other friends that also have Bookstagrams linked below. Please go check them out. Their content is incredible. They post on Instagram way more often than I do. So first up, Brienne gifted me one of her favorite books ever, Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead by Emily Austen. This one has been on my TBR forever, and I'm so excited to get to it, especially now knowing that Brienne loves it. I've heard that this one is really, really funny. Plus the main character is gay, so I'm sold. This one is about Gilda, and she's going through a really tough time. She's actually very, very depressed. So one day she decides to seek help by attending a group therapy session at her local church. Except when she gets there, there's been a mistake, and the priest thinks that she is there to interview for the new receptionist job. So Gilda is way too anxious to correct him. She ends up doing the interview and getting the job. And if this whole embarrassing situation isn't bad enough, Gilda is a lesbian and an atheist, so she is definitely not the right person for this job, and she has to go about figuring out how to be a receptionist for the Catholic Church. Next up, she so kindly gifted me a book that I have already read and gave 5 stars, Rest Stop by Nat Cassidy. I love this little book so much. I've already screamed about it in a vlog, so I'm not gonna go too into detail with books that I've featured in other videos, but just know that I really, really enjoyed this one. I will continue to pick up everything Nat Cassidy writes. This was such a fun, wild, unhinged, gory time, and I wanted so much more of it. I am so happy to finally have this next one on my shelves. I know it is going to be an incredible book. This one was gifted to me by my friend Melita, and that's Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer. This one is very popular and well-loved for a reason. It's a non-fiction collection of essays about nature, the natural world, how we fit into it. Kimmerer embraces the notion that plants and animals are our oldest teachers. In Braiding Sweetgrass, she brings these lenses of knowledge together to show that the awakening of a wider ecological consciousness requires the acknowledgement and celebration of our reciprocal relationship with the rest of the living world. For only when we can hear the languages of other beings are we capable of understanding the generosity of Earth and learning to give our own gifts in return. I will definitely be picking this one up soon. This feels like the perfect book to read during the spring and summer months, where I can read it while I'm spending time outside. I was really spoiled for these next 2. My friends know me and know that I collect the Penguin cloth-bound classics, so I got 2 of them. First up, my friend Valerie got me The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Now, she gets bonus points because she picked a book that I've already read, so it can go right onto the red shelves and I'm not adding to my TBR, so extra thanks to you, Valerie. This one, of course, is a classic for a reason. It's very, very well known. It is about a man who has a portrait painted of him, but he becomes so enthralled with his own image that he decides to sell his soul for eternal youth and beauty. He is drawn into a corrupt double life of indulging his desires in secret while his portrait continues to change and show the traces of his decadence. Next up, I have a gift from the sweetest person in the entire world, my friend Estilby. And she also got me a book that I have already read, and that's Dante's Inferno. I luckily read this one in college because I think if I read it alone today without somebody explaining it to me, I would not have gotten it. But oh my god, this cover is stunning, and I am so happy to finally have this one on my shelf. This one, of course, follows Dante as he travels through all of the circles of hell. And last up, a gift from my bestie Tiffany. They know that I am a Stephen Graham's-Jones girly, and we share that in common. So of course, they had to get me his newest release, The Buffalo Hunter Hunter. I cannot describe to you how excited I am for this one, and look at these edges. Oh my god, what a stunning book. This chilling historical novel is set in the state of Montana following a Blackfeet Indian named Goodstab as he haunts the field of the Blackfeet Nation looking for justice. This is an American Indian revenge story captured in the vivid voices of the time by one of the new masters of literary horror, Stephen Graham Jones. This is another one that's getting on a TBR very, very soon because I just know I'm absolutely going to love it. All right, that's it for books that I was gifted. Again, thank you from the absolute bottom of my heart. I am so incredibly lucky to have you guys, and never think that you have to do that. Just a comment or a like on one of my videos is enough for me. It seriously makes my day every single time I see one. But now moving on to the books that I've purchased myself or used gift card money to purchase. First up, another Nat Cassidy, because how could I not? When the Wolf Comes Home. This book has been staring at me since I bought it, and all of the hype I've been hearing about it has me so excited. This one is about Jess, a struggling actress who finds a 5-year-old runaway hiding in the bushes outside her apartment after a violent, bloody encounter with the boy's father. She and the boy find themselves running for their lives. I know this one is a werewolf book, which historically I have not had much luck with, but if anybody's gonna make me like werewolves, it's gonna be Nat Cassidy. This next one is another very highly anticipated release by an author that I have read from and enjoyed in the past, and that is The Staircase in the Woods by Chuck Wendig. This is the Evernight by Illumicrate exclusive edition. You have the alternative art on the dust jacket. These absolutely gorgeous sprayed edges and end papers. This redesign, especially the end papers, gives me the biggest Stranger Things vibes. So if it is anything like that TV show, I'm going to love this. This one is about a group of friends investigating the mystery of a strange staircase in the woods. 5 high school students are bound by an oath to protect one another no matter what. Then on a camping trip in the middle of the forest, they find something extraordinary, a staircase to nowhere. One friend walks up and never comes back, and then the staircase disappears. 20 years later, the staircase has reappeared. Now the group returns to find the lost boy and what lies beyond the staircase in the woods. I mean, come on, this is giving me all of the Upside Down vibes. I can already tell this is going to be so good. Moving on to my horror adjacent weird girl, sad girl books. First up, we have a book that I've mentioned in a few videos already, so I'm just going to talk about it very quickly, and that of course is Beta Vulgaris by Margie Sarsfield. Weird girl book about an unhinged woman who starts working at a beet farm. People start disappearing, and I think the beets talk to her. So this one is on my TBR for the month, and if you want to hear more, make sure you look out for a future vlog. This one I found at a local used bookstore, and it was only $6, so I couldn't leave without it. You'd Look Better as a Ghost by Joanna Wallace. I've seen a few people talk about this one, but I've never actually read what it's about. I think it's about a murderer. So the night after her father's funeral, Claire meets Lucas in a bar. Lucas doesn't know it, but it's not a chance meeting. One thoughtless, mistyped email has put him in the crosshairs of an extremely annoyed serial killer. But even before Claire takes him home and carves him up into little pieces, something about the night is very wrong because someone is watching Claire, someone who is about to discover her murderous little hobby. Okay, this sounds so much better than I thought. We're following a female serial killer. Drop everything, I need to start this immediately. Next up, moving on to our little dystopian sci-fi category, we have Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler. This is one of those books where I feel like I should have read it by now, so that's what we're gonna do this year. This one is actually set in the year 2024, where global climate change and economic crises lead to social chaos. California becomes full of dangers, from pervasive water shortage to masses of vagabonds who will do anything to live to see another day. 15-year-old Lauren lives inside a gated community with her preacher father, family, and neighbors, sheltered from the surrounding anarchy. In a society where vulnerability is a risk, she suffers from hyper-empathy, a debilitating sensitivity to others' emotions. Precocious and clear-eyed Lauren must make her voice heard in order to protect her loved ones from the imminent dangers her small community stubbornly ignores. But what begins as a fight for survival soon leads to much more, the birth of a new faith and a startling vision of human destiny. I feel like this one is very relevant to things going on in the world today, even though this was written in the 90s. I feel like Octavia Butler just got a lot of things right, and it's going to be a good reminder of why we need to change before it's too late. Staying in that same category, I have what I'm expecting to be a weird little sci-fi book by Bora Chung, your utopia. This is the author of Cursed Bunny, which to this day is the weirdest short story collection I have ever read. Some of those stories still live in my head, not rent-free. They are paying rent for being there. So I wasn't too sure if I wanted to pick this one up, but I cannot pass up a good deal. This was only $4. Where can you find a book for $4 nowadays? So yeah, we're gonna give this one a try. I did really enjoy this author's writing in Cursed Bunny. It was just some of the subject matter was a little too out there for me, but I'm willing to give this one a try. This one is a blend of horror, absurdity, and dark humor, reaches its peak in these tales of loss and discovery, dystopia and idealism, death and immortality. In this thrilling translation, readers will experience a variety of possible fates for humanity, from total demise via a disease whose only symptom is casual cannibalism, to a world in which even dreams can be monitored and used to convict people of crimes. Okay, I'm intrigued. Next up, moving into our fantasy and romance categories. I haven't been ordering too much from Book of the Month this year, really because I'm trying just to limit how many books I'm bringing in and adding to my physical TBR. But these next few I just couldn't pass up on. And first up, we have The Amalfi Curse by Sarah Penner. This is going to be my third book by this author. I really love her writing. She always writes sort of historical fiction fantasy book. This one has to do with witchcraft, a hunt for sunken treasure, and forbidden love on the high seas. I'm so in. I discovered about myself that I really love pirate books or like ship settings at sea. So at this point, I've collected a few of them, and I think pretty soon I'm gonna have to do like a dedicated reading vlog to this like subgenre, and this one is going to have to be included because it sounds like such a fun time. This one follows Haven, a trailblazing nautical archaeologist who has come to investigate the mysterious shipwrecks along the Amalfi coast, but Haven is hoping to find more than old artifacts beneath the water. She's secretly on a quest to locate a trove of priceless gemstones her late father spotted on his final dive. Upon Haven's arrival, strange storms and misfortunes start plaguing the town. Is it nature or something more sinister at work? Yep, this sounds like my kind of book. This next one should be no surprise. I've screamed about it in a few videos already at this point, and yes, I am still in the middle of it, but I will be getting back to it soon, and that's Enchantra by Kaylee Smith. This one is the sequel to Phantasma, one of my favorite books of last year. It's a horror fantasy romance series about sisters that get themselves entangled in these deadly games with demons, and oh my god, is this series incredible. And I've heard this one is even better than the first one, which is just unbelievable to me, and I'm so mad at myself for not reading it yet, but just something about the size is really intimidating to me. Next, we have another book that I've gone on and on about how excited I am for it, but have I read it yet? No. And that's gonna be Just for the Summer, nope, Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. Miss Abby has been on my end of the year favorites list for at least 2 years in a row. I absolutely love her romance books. I love her characters so much. So why haven't I read this? I don't know. I really think what it is I was so hyped up over this and the book I'm going to talk about next, and that one ended up being pretty disappointing, so I decided to wait on this one, but I've got to just pick this up soon because I need this joy in my life. This one, oh my god, I've never even opened this. Look at this pink. It's so pretty. Okay, I wasn't expecting hot pink writing. Is there anything in the back? Wow. Okay, this one is about Xavier, who is dangerously close to being a perfect guy. He's a gorgeous veterinarian giving Greek god vibes, all while cuddling a tiny kitten. That isn't until Xavier opens his mouth and proves that even sculpted gods can say the absolute wrong thing. Of course, there's nothing Samantha loves more than proving an asshole wrong, unless of course he can admit he made a mistake. But after one incredible and seemingly endless date, possibly the best in living history, Samantha is forced to admit the truth, that her family is in crisis and any kind of relationship would be impossible. Samantha begs Xavier to forgive her, to remember their night together as a perfect moment, as crushing as that may be. Only no amount of distance or time is nearly enough to forget that something between them. And the only thing better than one single perfect memory is to make a life and even love worth remembering. All right, this sounds like it's gonna be cute, heartbreaking, but cute, and I'm very excited. Next up, that book I mentioned that was a huge disappointment, none other than Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I have a whole dedicated vlog where I read this one and tell you all of my thoughts, so I will link that below if you're curious. But yeah, unfortunately, this was a big disappointment for me. I love Emily Henry so much, and I will continue to pick up everything she writes. I just hope she never writes a book like this again. It was a big miss for me. This one follows two competing journalists who are trying to win the right to tell the life story of this mysterious socialite who just disappeared off the face of the earth one day. The vibes of this one sound very similar to The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, but personally, I just found the story really boring, and the romance in this one did nothing for me. I didn't feel any chemistry, and I honestly didn't like any of the characters. All right, the book we've all been waiting for, the book that everyone, their mother, and their grandmother have been screaming about, Silver Elite by Dani Francis. And yes, I did get the Barnes & Noble edition with the beautiful lightning sprayed edges. Are these supposed to be lightning? I might be making that up. But this one is the it girl of the moment. It is the first book in a sizzling dystopian romance series. Psychic gifts are a death sentence and there are rules to survival. Trust no one, lie to everyone, and whatever you do, don't fall for your greatest enemy. Wren Darling has spent her whole life in hiding, honing her psychic abilities and aiding the rebel uprising in small ways. On the continent, being modified means certain death, and Wren is one of the most powerful mods in existence. When one careless mistake places her in the hands of the enemy, and she's forced to join Silver Block, their most elite training program, she's finally handed the perfect opportunity to strike a devastating blow from inside their ranks. I have heard that this one is so fast-paced and addicting. I just know when I pick it up, I'm going to want to fly through it, and that's exactly why I haven't started it yet. I'm using it as sort of a reward. Once I finish my TBR this month, I get to read this one. And it's really motivating me because I really, really want to pick this one up soon. Next, we have The Love of My Life, a book that I spent almost an entire vlog screaming about, Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage. This, of course, is the fourth and final book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series, a cowboy romance series that I am obsessed with. I am telling you, this is my favorite romance author of all time, my favorite romance series of all time. Just something in these books does it like no other. This one follows Cam and Dusty's love story. They're characters that we meet in earlier books in the series. This has single mom trope, second chance romance, the guy falls first, high school sweethearts, small town vibes, and this book is just everything. Dusty Tucker is my new bookish boyfriend, and I will take no criticism about his slutty little crop tops. He is perfect just the way he is. All right, this next one is a book I told myself I would not buy, but I fell victim to the hype, and that's gonna be Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. I couldn't help myself. When I heard that the special editions with the pool edges was selling out, I knew I had to get my hands on it because what if I love this book? Like, I have to have this edition. This is another very hyped book that I'm sure you've already heard of. It is a BDSM romance between two college swimmers, or maybe one's a swimmer, one's a diver. It's been getting a lot of mixed reviews, but the people that love it really love it, and I'm hoping to be in that category. I've really enjoyed Ali Hazelwood's Steminist series. Like, The Love Hypothesis is to this day one of my favorite romances ever, and probably one of the first romances to get me into that genre, so I have her to thank for that. But recently Bride by this author landed on my worst books of 2025, so I was a little hesitant to pick anything else up from her, but I think as long as there's no werewolves or knots in this one, we should be safe. Wait, if they're into BDSM, there will probably be knots, but not the kind of knots I'm talking about. And finally, we have made it to the last one. I didn't actually count how many there were, so editing Alexis, make sure you take care of that. But finally, we have a little bit of a different type of book. This one is a nonfiction book about nature, which I don't buy too many of because I don't tend to read them super often, but this one caught my eye. And as a Corvid lover, I couldn't leave the store without it. That's gonna be Crow Planet, Essential Wisdom from the Urban Wilderness by Lyanda Lynn Haupt. I mean, pretty self-explanatory. It's gonna be about crows. I love crows. I love learning about crows, and I'm really excited to know more about them. I know that corvids are like one of the smartest birds out there, but besides that, I don't know too much about them. And as somebody who has made the raven her entire brand, I feel like I should learn more. So I'm gonna start out with their cousin, the crow. All right, friends, we have finally made it to the end of this massive book haul. If you made it this far and you would like to leave me an emoji, in a comment below. Our emoji of the video is going to be the blackbird in honor of the crow. Please let me know if there are any books that you have recently hauled and you're excited to get to. Not that I need to be influenced to buy any more books. I am on a strict no buy ban for the next few months at least. As always, friends, thank you so much for watching. I hope you read a good book today, and I will see you soon in my next one. Bye.